Welcome to the American Institute of Healthcare Professionals Videogram on spirituality and health. And in this video, we're going to look at the role of spirituality or worldviews and how they can help shape our emotional, mental, and also our physical health itself. So first, what we want to look at is what is spirituality? And spirituality is something that is a dimension of religion, but separate at the same in the same breath. When we look at spirituality, we look more of a individual belief system, a personal belief system that monitors daily activity and how one prays, meditates, focuses on the divine. Religious individuals are individuals that are more dogmatic and maybe not as spiritual in their personal life. They're more social. Now, there's not any way saying, this is not in any way saying that one cannot both be spiritual and religious. Many people are very dogmatic, social in regards to church ritual and functions, but in their own private personal prayer life, also very devout and praying. So you can have an individual who's spiritual and religious, and it's very healthy, or you might have an individual who is just very religious on the outside, or you can have someone who is just very personal and they follow their own type of spirituality itself. So spirituality, if it's looked at in a singular fashion, is more private. It's more about one's own development spiritually within one's own life through prayer and meditation and forming one's conscience in regards to the belief system itself. So there are many aspects of what a spiritual person is, or what a religious person is, or what a religious/spiritual person is, but they all, as we will see, have multiple benefits towards overall wholeness of health, physically, mentally, and of course, spiritually. Individuals who encompass spirituality usually have certain qualities that enable them to have a healthier life percentage-wise. Spiritual individuals and those with religious background usually have worldviews that give them more meaning in life. It gives them a direction on where to go. They approach life with more understanding in what each step is along the way. Now, whether or not this perspective is correct or incorrect doesn't matter. What matters is that this internal compass has numerous physical, mental, and emotional benefits because there is a sense of security. And I guess you could also apply this to anyone. Maybe they're not spiritual, but they have a worldview of something that gives structure, that gives meaning to this world. They don't feel like they're living just in pure and utter chaos by chance. So this helps individuals, again, have direction, have understanding, letting them know what they need to do in their particular life, the role that they play in the particular life. In this, individuals have heightened self-esteem, they have eternal perspectives, and in many cases, they have reduced death anxiety because they know where they are going in life itself. In regards to this, the immune system and the stress response is far better in individuals that are religious and spiritual, or purely spiritual, or anyone with a worldview. They respond to stressors in a different way. They're able to see stress in a different light. They might not just see it as a particular agitation that comes their way. Many are able to absorb the stress as balance. Others are able to offer it. In Christianity, offer it as suffering, as a cross, as a trial. They're able to put a spin on why stress happens and bad things happen. And this in turn is able to reduce the overall negative effects of stress on the body. Less chronic stress helps the immune system, it helps lower blood pressure, helps the heart, helps individuals find more sleep. Many spiritual people also practice meditation and mindfulness, and many studies have shown a correlation between meditation and stress and how it lowers stress, how it relaxes the body, and prevents chronic disease and future implications due to chronic stress. So if you're spiritual, an individual is more likely to have a prayer life. If you're spiritual, an individual is more likely to meditate and to take that time out of a busy, stressful day for that type of self-care. So when it comes to recovery, does spirituality really matter? And the answer is totally yes. Studies have shown that spiritual individuals or individuals with worldviews can recover better. And that's makes a lot of sense that they recover better because of what we spoke about with the body's immune system and its response. But it also gives the individual a positive mindset. And studies have shown that many individuals who are more positive chemically produce better things within their body to help heal. Individuals are more likely to heal with a positive mindset. Now, this doesn't always come into play. Sometimes a terminally ill person is past the point of no return, but there has been many times where positive mindsets have played a contributing factor in recovery. So the question then becomes, is it a better recovery or is it a miracle? And who's to know? Who's to know if there was divine intervention or if just simply that positive mindset of a spiritual person through prayer and having individuals around them and the positive energy that came with that helped that individual recover. And that's something that is left to speculation between psychologists and theologians themselves to see. In regards to spirituality and dying, we've already mentioned as well that those facing death, even if recovery doesn't come, they have less death anxiety because they have faith. They have a certainty of what they're going to see in the next world. So there's less fright. And I say less because death is still a traumatic experience, no doubt, knowing that your own existence on an observable plane is about to end. But still, an individual has less death anxiety if they're spiritual, if they know their place in the universe, and they have an idea or a belief system of what is about to occur. And whether recovery happens or not, many are relaxed and completely comfortable with giving themselves up to a will to a higher power itself. So it's very important in spirituality to develop oneself to face this final chapter in one's life. And the phase of spirituality has even been looked at with Erik Erikson as an important step in personal development and in acceptance of death itself. Just that idea of having purpose, of having meaning, can completely turn suffering and the idea of suffering around a complete 180. And that is why we have what Viktor Frankl stated, that man is not destroyed by suffering, but when suffering is without meaning. So if we look at an individual maybe who has no spirituality in their life, who's suffering, and they have no clue why, they feel much more alone in the universe, even if they're surrounded by family and friends. Why am I suffering? Those with a faith-based spirituality or a religious structure, or at least some type of worldview that helps explain, this all aids in lessening the impact of death and allowing one to enter into death more gracefully, more calmly, and with less anxiety itself. So I hope this video shows a little bit how spiritual qualities are really made to help an individual throughout life have a healthier life in regards to stress response, and as well in finding one's place and one's meaning in everyday activity to promote healthier activities, to promote healthier mindsets, and when facing death, to face it in a way that is very open to the next world, very open to a will of a higher power, and also more susceptible to recovery because of a positive mindset itself. Now, this in no way is dictating that someone who is spiritual is superior to someone who is not spiritual. The purpose of this video is just to show some studies, some insight into how spirituality positively affects one's health. AIHCP offers a spiritual counseling certification as well for those interested. We have the link. We as well have an email address at info@aihcp.org, and our phone number is 330-652-7776. I'd like to thank you for listening and have a good day.